Also, I find it so funny, like the guy just like come see yourself in the fire, and then Moldir just spills like his whole
Everything,
her whole
everything.
like family trauma, and the guy is like, "Oh, she's fucked
I
up.
mean,
Do
she
I
even
do I
talked
really
about
send my grandchild to him?"
right.
Like she started saying that she shoots her sister like without any context.
No prompting. Also, she started talking about being Randall's traitors and being in the Hall of Merit to a random
Yes.
stranger, like
Yes.
no clearance.
Look, there's no psychology. There's Kakanya, but Kakanya is not here, I believe.
Oh no, there are psychologists in the foundation. They don't get paid
Probably
enough.
not for her. Yeah, they probably not. Here in the military, I don't think Igor would approve of psychologists. He would be like, that is weak BS. Just take a gun and
We
solve
don't
your
have enough
problems on the battlefield.
resources. Here's a gun with one bullet. When it comes down to it, you know what
Here's
to
a
do.
gun. Here's a gun with one bullet. Here is a bottle full of vodka. Just go for it.
Yeah. If you ever get captured, here's a gun with one bullet.
For the foundation, for me.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna try to get the ending that lies with regret and guilt and accepting it as it is.
The best ending. Okay.
Part
Okay,
4. Oh,
Yeah. Go.
Part 4. Golden Peaches.
I used to call her Pera. Pera. Lopera.
There wasn't any trick to the name. It was short and simple.
First, press your lips together, then part them, and gently drop your tongue towards your chin. Sounds light, floral maybe, like the frail creature I saw when I met her. An unripe orange, fallen to the ground too soon. The orange! I knew it. That was very fast. Okay. The oranges grow around here. The oranges grow around here.
She asked the old man, who gently shook his head.
Alright. I never seen an orange back home either.
She asked herself a question, then answers it.
Tarter than grapes, sweeter than plums. A runaway child. Father brought her in, and we couldn't help but be curious about the little girl with her orange hair. Ptolemy sees her up with his one good eye. I remember the first thing he said to her.
You are shorter than I expected. She mimics her brother's tone as she speaks.
Lopera walked right up to him, stood up in her tiptoes, and pulled him down by the collar. Call me short again. I dare you. And just like that, we are all laughing. Ptolemy could still laugh back then, but not Father. Even then, he stood there, solid as stone. He could see him watching her with that cold, calculating gaze, studying her, waiting for her next move.
I know what he must have been thinking. Most fathers would feel the same.
Ptolemy, naturally, couldn't help but meet the challenge. He went down a list of words. Rump, shrimp, short stuff. And he had then prepared. He always had a cruel sense of humor. Father and I simply sat back and waited for what would happen next.
She sighs. Reliving these memories has been a welcome rest from her exhaustion and mental strain. For months, she hasn't had a moment's rest, working to keep her people together, backing her father, and at times, fretting over the sister who chose a different path. Oh yeah, life hacks. The command only works if you're in my chat.
She practically leaped as he yanked down his collar. Ptolemy tumbled over her shoulder like a sack of oats. I can still remember the stunned look on his face, staring up at the sky. Then we all turned to Father. I already knew what we would see. The same, nearly imperceptible smile he gave any of us when he was pleased. Ptolemy was furious. He pulled her down onto the mud. He pulled her down into the mud right along with him. Training ground were always muddy, even on sunny days. I think that was by design. I tried to pull them apart, yelled at them to stop, but Ptolemy had long since stopped listening to me. And Lopera? I'm not sure she ever did. There was nothing I could do.
She says it with a smile.
Eventually, I managed to grab a hold of my new sister, like grabbing an orange, and pull her out from the mud. Ptolemy reached for her, but I stood in his way. I told him he needed to cool off. That was their first fight, certainly not the last. I'm sure those two fought more than anyone else. All of our siblings fought. Father encouraged it. He believed it made us tougher, more resilient. Sometimes that was true.
The old man nods, as if in agreement.
I taught her how to hold again. I also taught her how to ride, how to match the horse rhythm, and how to aim while on horseback.
Happy memories flood to the surface, playing out like a movie, lit by the flickering flames.
That is how things were, the good and the bad. But things change.
The sun has long since set, and a clear, starry sky has replaced it. Chill mountain air creeps up in the darkness, making the bonfire's heat feel all the more precious. She shifts her gaze up from the fire to the moon, a familiar sight in an unfamiliar time.
We come from somewhere very far away.
She tells her story.
But no matter where we go, the moon is the same. When I was young, I would often sit with my grandmother and watch it as it hung above the sky. Later, whenever we went on patrol or training late, my sister and I would do the same. I remember once, when she was still young, she ran up to me, tugging at my sleeve, saying, "Molly, I've got something to show you." She pulled me up from my desk and dragged me outside. I followed her to the courtyard, and there was the pale moon. She stood beside me, looking up at it.
The lieutenant lets her head fall back, looking up at the dark and starry sky.
You left her?
Yes, I did. She was free to follow her own sense of right and wrong, to choose a different path. That's who she is, and that is how it should be. I wonder if she still looks up at the sky and thinks of me.
She closes her eyes.
I told her once. We are soldiers. Goodbye is a luxury in our profession. Ptolemy understood that all too well, and so did the other soldiers. But Lopera never seemed to take it seriously. She thought of it like a game.
She hesitates.
It wasn't.
She casts a glance at the soldiers, singing and dancing with the villagers. I think I keep going for a little bit longer before we take our break.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. I thought we were already on the third item. Yes, the item is the new one.
Yeah. Part 5. The Rain. Military camp outside the ancient city of Ai-Kanum.
Most of them have never shot at anything that could shoot back. Rabbits, birds, deer. Maybe a wolf or a bear. A hunter is not a soldier just because he can fire a rifle. No more than climbing on a horse makes you a knight.
The old man nods in firm agreement.
You speak truly.
To be a soldier, to be both the best and worst of humanity. I still remember their names.
Her voice trails off. After taking 2 deep breaths, she begins again, reciting the names as if they were a solemn vow.
Marshall, who was always better with a sword than a gun. Whitewood, who took better care of his books than his rifle. And Vasily, with her falcon.
A fallen Xeno soldier, killed in action at 19 years of age, in the southern foothills of the Caucasus on April 14th, 1966. So Regulus's time. Whitewood, a fallen Xeno soldier, lost at sea at 20 years of age, after the Cape of Good Hope shipwreck on October 23rd, 1913. So it's either Vermsamt or when Marcus was picked up.
Yes, it is.
Vasilisa, a fallen Xeno soldier, killed in action at 22 years of age in the Southern Balkans on November 25th, 1912. Alright, same there. Their names linger as ghostly wisps in the night air.
Lopera and I were supposed to go out on a mission. It was her first opportunity to witness a battlefield firsthand. But just before we left, Father decided to leave the 2 of us behind.
Alright. Let's focus on...
Is the first one always the same?
I think it is like tied to... I think the words matter. So I think we should go with I remember how disappointed she was.
I remember, yeah. It sounds more like she is actually facing it.
Yeah. If it's like, I just don't understand why. It is like embracing the ignorance and trying to avoid it,
Yes.
you know?
I remember how disappointed she was.
Your decision changes what is yet to come.
Lopera screamed in the middle of the station, demanding to know why she couldn't go to the front. The fall was colder than usual, and it was already snowing. I can still picture those white flakes that dotted her orange hair. As she yelled and protested, all the soldiers turned to look at us. So many familiar faces. I thought, perhaps, that the message meant that the war was ending, that we weren't needed there. But that was the last time I saw many of those faces. Some of them I once called siblings, too. They went to war, we went home. Those were father's soldiers. Those were father's orders.
She lowers her head.
It wasn't long after that we received the first of the remains. Lopera dug the graves herself. It wasn't snowing that day. It was snowing that day, too.
She feels a chill run down her spine. One that doesn't belong to the cold air around her, but to that distant memory.
Fate brought me to my father, and then, one after another, brought others to our side. They would come and go, live and die. Then more would come. Orphans created by and for war.
Exhaustion lingers in her voice.
War forces us to grow and to adapt to our conditions, to the brutality around us. It's not right to say grow. We survive. Those that adapt survive.
She bites down her lower lip, her brow furrowing.
My sister has been on many missions, but I don't know if she has ever seen the side of war for herself. I never got the chance to ask. I never wanted to.
She opens her hands.
I hope not. I hope, in some way, that she never has to adapt to the cruelties that I have, the brutal calculus of command. She's suited to what she does. She isn't meant to the front lines.
The old man pulls an almond from his sleeve and hands it to her.
Thank you.
The lieutenant takes it, her face scrunching involuntarily, anticipating the oncoming tartness.
And what was it that changed you?
A battle that wasn't worth remembering. When I shot a man I didn't know.
A historical battlefield. Years ago, the Admiral brought his daughter to the battlefield. They flew in during the final days of the war. She was still being trained as an officer. From the window of their plane, she could see husks of concrete buildings jutting out like bones over the scarred landscape. It was her first real taste of the battle, an assault on a fortified position.
We secured the street. We had tanks then, large armored vehicles with cannons.
She explains for the man, though perhaps even the notion of a motor vehicle might elude him.
But tanks are no use in taking a building. I led the troops in. I think we had reached the third or fourth floor without opposition. Then I heard a voice. A man speaking in a language I didn't know. I turned to see a stranger. It didn't take long before he saw me too. I reach for my gun. He raises his.
The lieutenant tapped her thumb on her chest, signaling with a small gesture. The old man nods in understanding, his wrinkled thumb turning the lapis lazuli beads on his wrist.
I reacted on instinct. Father's training. It was over in a single shot.
She sighs.
Then, I don't know why, but I crumpled to the ground and lay there. My mind went blank. My comrades came running over. They thought I had been hit.
Only emotionally. It'll heal, or scar.
Doesn't sound that helped.
Yeah.
All these years later.
It's a shot to the heart, you know.
Many references, oh my god.
Her hand trembles on her chest. The moment replays itself in her mind.
They told me I was crying and throwing up as they dragged me out to safety. All that training, all that was expected of me. Honor and glory, a martyr's death. But I only killed that man because I was afraid to die myself. I couldn't escape the look on his face as I shot him. For a long time after, even in training, if I heard a gunshot, I would feel sick to my stomach. One day, I changed. The sickness in my stomach just went away. Or maybe I learned to live with it.
The old man stops twisting the beads with his fingers. The fire twinkles back at her in the bright blue reflection.
It is a feeling all soldiers must learn to live with.
Alright.
She really just saying stuff. She really just going.
Yeah, she's just gushing about her backstory.
She is.
He's not even like trumpeting her much.
She do be good.
He's like ask one question and then she just goes.
Yeah.
She
She
really,
got a lot.
honestly, yeah, she really
She got a
needing
lot
it.
of things. She got a lot of things to get off.
Yeah, get off her chest.
In a lot of ways, the anecdotes have always felt, what do you call this? A lot more carefully written, compared to like main story and side stories. Like I don't
Yeah,
really have
true, I can
an
see that.
anecdote that isn't incredibly strong in terms of its like character writing and story. But this is the first time I think we're going this deep into a backstory of a character, rather than
yes.
like an event that's currently happening around them, or them kind of just like in the aftermath of it, right? Because you look at the anecdotes
Yes,
of
it
all
didn't happen
the
much
sorry, go ahead.
scenes, yes. Oh no, I was going to say there wasn't much stuff happening. It's just like Moldir's thoughts. Like we're getting what she's feeling, what she thinks.
We started with riding out of the wilderness, the steppe, to like recruit more people, and then we're at a bonfire, and then the past 4 chapters have just been her talking to this guy at the bonfire.
She's just dropping so much.
They're just
stuff.
chilling, you know, trauma dumping.
Yeah, he's rethinking his whole like, will I trust these people?
Yeah. Man,
This is their leader. It's a traumatized 20-something, 23?
yeah. Actually, I don't know how old Moldir is.
Matins were usually held
Moldir,
24.
24. I see.
4 years old, and she now we get why every time she lifts her gun.
Yep.
for anything.
So
What
there
was
actually
that?
was an explanation for why her first reaction to anything is to lift her gun up. It's because that's her trauma response to the very first time she killed someone.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful. We love to see explanations for why our characters are like this.
Zaxton, woman, I love you.
At the same time, it's really closely tied with Igor, Lopera, and Ptolemy, which makes sense. Because they spend so much time together. We're actually learning a lot more
Nice
about
to hear
Lopera
about them more.
by word of mouth from Moldir.
Finally! Thought you'd forgotten me or something.
Lopera, I'm so sorry, you were nowhere on the story. It's just Moldir, Igor, and Ptolemy sometimes.
I'll have to get Lopera's
They
IQ.
really just put her like out of the group. She's not part. They really kicked her out of the family. That's so sad.
Well, I'll get it now.
They're having the whole like character arc, and she's just there in the foundation.
Yeah. Just chill in the background, as you do.
Yes. Hands in her head, crying in the bathroom floor. Moldir as well, crying the Ptolemy as well. Igor is not, I don't think he is. But
Igor's okay.
they all cry in different floors. Yes, and Igor is just, I need to adopt more children. They're dying too fast.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's like, yeah. So
I thought once after I adopted Moldir and she survived for so long, I expected the other kids to survive just as long, but they all die. Moldir is just built different. I guess I need to calculate better how many orphans I adopt.
It is interesting that Igor seems to be aware of kind of their affinity for the battlefield. Where with Lopera, he kind of got an inkling that Lopera wouldn't be able to handle it, so didn't send her to the front. And intentionally sent her out on a mission so that she wouldn't be around for his betrayal of the Foundation, right? And then with Moldir here, he directly took her to the front, specifically via helicopter, so she would have a safer experience, and just continue to like keep sending her off over and over and over again. And then with Ptolemy,
Whatever was that?
with Ptolemy, I feel like Ptolemy didn't really have a choice but to get traumatized because he lost both of his, both if not all of his brothers. I'm not sure how many brothers Ptolemy came with at first. So Ptolemy was easier to, I think, to cauterize that fear and that overwhelming, like, what do you call this, feeling that would get in the way of being a good soldier.
Getting over the fear of killing people. Like Moldir was having like a reaction to gunshots, and then she got over it as a soldier should. And then Ptolemy did that, and Lopera, I guess, she never did. In a way, but she did kill. The chapter does start with she killing a bunch of soldiers, doesn't it? I forgot about.
And specifically traitors.
Traitors, that is true.
Yeah.
I forgot about her character. Yeah, she hates traitors. Yeah, she killed her father and stuff. Yeah, that's true.
It's not that Lopera is, what do you call it?
Against killing. She's against killing her family.
Unnecessarily, yeah.
That is their thing. Yeah.
And it's interesting, Moldir never apparently asked her about her tolerance for it, or if she had ever like been made to do something that she felt was morally wrong. But shortly before Sao Paulo's incident, she did go on her whole side story and like was forced to kill someone she actually liked.
Yes.
Only to realize towards the end, oh wait, none of this mattered. That he could have lived, he could have died. It wouldn't have affected anything.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
fucked up. Also fucked up that Igor, as you explained, like had one like grooming plan for each child, like what they need, what he needs to do, depending on their personality, to break them in like fucking horses, like break them in. So they become soldiers.
Your first crash is always the worst, right?
Was like, yeah, Lopera. Yeah. Lopera, he analyzed all the options. He's like, yeah, this child has no fixing. I would just leave her behind, like leaving a dog.
So that's why it's 25 minutes now instead of 20 minutes moving forward.
Yes.
So yeah, enjoy your
problems at all.
time.
Take your time.
enjoy your time here. We will be right back after 25 minutes. Riku or Teresa might keep you company sooner rather than later, but I'm going to be gone for the full 25 minutes. See you soon.
Yeah.
You can ring my bell.